Hey everyone, it is Jaylen Bledsoe. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode, this video, this chapter, whatever we call it. I have no idea what they're called. You know, I'm new to this thing on YouTube. About 6 months ago, I began to get requests on my Instagram and my Facebook asking me to do explainers and breakdowns on relevant and trending business and economic news, and also give a better understanding of what that news means to their businesses, to their families, to their lives, and how they could better make decisions on what was going on. It honestly all began with this kindergarten economics question on ketchup and inflation. And since then, probably once a month, I've done something and people have responded back saying they like this stuff. So as I do more of this, I need your support. I need your feedback as to what you want to see differently, what's going on great, and of course, your questions. What are you seeing in today's economy, today's business world, today's political space that you want to have a better understanding on? If you give me those questions, I'll try my best to answer them with my experience. Now, day to day, I am a consultant. I am the managing director of Flair Partners. We support organizations, Fortune 10s, Fortune 100s, and medium businesses, 500,000 to, a couple $1 billion in revenue on 3 areas: digital technology, analytics, marketing communications, and management operations. So I get exposure to a lot of these dialogues at different tables, and I hope that I can bring that awareness and that level of understanding at different tiers based off where you may be at in your journey in life. Today I want to talk about 2 things. There's this Disney and DeSantis chaos, drama, lawsuit that's taking place now. And there's also some interesting news that came in around the unemployment and job payroll numbers, which has a lot to do with inflation and recession. And that's just a story that is seemingly going to be the story for the rest of the year, if not more, just based on where we are in the economy. Within that goal, today I have a really simple video discussing the Disney and DeSantis lawsuit. There's an update there that I think might have Disney at a disadvantage, and the payroll numbers that were released, which have a lot to do with inflation, with recession, with unemployment, with your personal pocketbook for the next 12 to 18 months, depending on what happens here. So let's kick off with Disney. The Obama appointed judge, Judge Mark E. Walker, has recused himself. He has a cousin who owns 30 shares of the Walt Disney Company stock, and he could be impacted financially by the outcomes of this case. Now, before I get into my thoughts on the stock conversation, this recusal had nothing to do with the existing motion from DeSantis' legal team to have Judge Mark E. Walker removed from the case. So this recusal also had some sharp words for the DeSantis legal team, ultimately calling it rank picking or cherry picking, or picking the best judge that you want for the case in the district that you can get for your side of it. Now, I don't follow law, so I can't say how unusual or usual that is. But the idea of this judge recusing himself because his cousin owns 30 shares of the Walt Disney stock does not make sense to me. That is less than $3,000 worth of stock value, and even at Disney's 52-week high, it's less than $4,000. That seems insignificant to me, but I'm not an attorney. I don't follow court cases in every district across the country. So maybe there is precedent for that, but also maybe this is his way of doing what DeSantis' legal team wanted, for him to recuse himself from the case, and doing it in a way that did not impact his ego. I'm not doing it because you wanted me to. I'm doing it because my cousin owns enough stock that I feel that my decision could impact him financially, and I don't want to have a bias. Now, considering that this entire case is about the Florida Don't Say Gay bill, which Disney responded to, which DeSantis didn't like them responding to, and is now punishing Disney for responding to, this gets worse for Disney, because the judge that is replacing this Democratic judge is Judge Alan C. Windsor, a 2019 Republican Trump appointee to this district court. Now, I will say I posted a reel on this story last week, and there is a lot of opinion on both sides, a lot of strong opinions, and I did not expect that. So I just want to know, are you team Disney or are you team DeSantis in this case of the drama around the Florida Don't Say Gay bill and the Reedy Creek Development District? Now, this next story, the point to me is, how do we avoid a recession when job numbers are going good? Today, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported payroll numbers for May 2023. And this headline has you celebrating job creation, but there might be a win in this that will help us avoid getting into a deep recession. Total non-farm payroll employment increased by 339,000 in May. And the unemployment rate rose by 0.3 percentage points to 3.7%, according to the USBLS. This number is more than expected, as the polling of economists were predicting an increase of 129,000 non-farm payroll employments. Could have been bad news, but this right here made all the difference. Unemployment rose. Many are hoping that the Federal Reserve will pause their hikes on interest rates in their fight against the inflation. Now, in order for that to happen, they're going to need to see some level of confidence that their interest rates hikes so far are slowing down inflation. And as long as jobs are increasing, wages are increasing, and unemployment is lowering, that's not going to happen confidently. But today's headline, it got me scared at first, then I got excited because that point, you talk about payroll enrollment numbers increased ahead of expectations. However, but unemployment rates rose by 0.3%. That means if this trend continues in a slow but healthy manner, we may be getting to a soft landing. The idea of unemployment amongst us, a friend being unemployed, is nothing to celebrate. But when we think about the whole of the US economy, to see this number go from 3.4 to 3.7 in May is significant. It's important. It gets us closer to this idea of the Fed pausing and slowing down their rate hikes, which gets us closer to the idea of a soft landing versus a hard recession. The math behind making the economy move and the functions and roles of people who have to do their part to do this, there's no exact formula that they can follow or create. There may be an algorithm they can create, let AI handle it all. But in reality, it's almost like being a doctor. You're practicing. And you go through a lot of schooling to understand the things in principle. What should happen if I do this? What should happen if I do that? What are the impacts? How can I jump in and stop it? How can I curtail it? How can I progress something or move it faster? But just like a doctor, everything is not in your control. Even if you have the best schooling or the best experiences, it really is based off the economy and space that we're in that day. You know, I think of COVID. No one knew how to navigate COVID because no one had been through COVID. In the same way, no one's been through the post-pandemic environment after COVID before. This is the first time that we're there. There are models, technical models that they follow to help guide these decisions or to understand, are we in recession? Are we approaching recession? Are we out of recession? But some of those technical models and markers don't apply because we're in a very unique space. We came out of COVID. Again, no one has been through post-COVID or post-pandemic in the way that we have right now. So we're all in this together. We're all learning what's happening together, and we're on the outside. We're just grabbing an understanding or an awareness of what's taking place. Now, those at the Federal Reserve and those who are actual economists, I feel for them, and I hope that they make the best decision for all of us so we're not in a 12, 18, or 24-month recession. I also hope that they do us right and they don't crash the value of houses, as so many were purchased over the last 2 years. Now, I do believe some people bought their houses at a high and they did it and did the whole like 100,000 above asking. It's on them if they lose equity over the next few months. But I'm just hoping that those who actually bought their houses at fair market prices, well, but that's just a selfish thing because that's just me. I bought a house during COVID or after. I mean, but I say I bought it in COVID, but is COVID even over? Because some say it is, some say it isn't. I've not worn a mask in a long time, so I guess it's over, but not really, because there are people who are at risk of it. Is COVID over for you? I don't know. Let's just make that a conversation point. But seriously, thank you so much for tuning into today's conversation. As I said at the beginning of the call, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have gotten these requests to explain what's happening in news. And even today, I think I just reported news and didn't explain what it means to you, what it means to your business, what it means to your family, and how to, make decisions from that. So this is something I'm figuring out. I know how to answer the questions. We've done it plenty of times, but doing it on YouTube in this format is a thing I got to figure out. So your feedback for the positive or the negative is all positive to me because it'll help me craft the format, craft the conversation. And if there are specific questions that you have for me to answer, let me know. I will gladly make a video answering that. And to be quite frank, those questions will help a lot in framing what it is that matters to you. Thank you again, and tune back in right here on YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. I do a lot of Reels, TikTok, all the places where you find people on social. I'm probably there unless I'm not there. And if I'm not there and I should be there, you let me know. I'll catch you soon.